It's interesting you talk about the N-word. In the film, it's used very early on, but what's fascinating, it's not just used by the guys on the plantation, it's used by LBJ. And which in those LBJ recordings, you hear him use it. And in the film, there's a scene where people in the kitchen are saying, see him on TV saying Negro, and somebody says, like, when did he start to use
Cuba's character
when did he
says
start to use that word?
Yes.
He always uses the N-word.
N-word, yeah.
So was that hard for you? I mean, I know you've spoken publicly about the importance of not using that word.
I think it depends on the context of the time in which you were raised. I was raised in the 60s. And
you're a child of Mississippi.
Yeah, and I am not only that, a student of my history. And I have said this many times, it's not a part of who I am to use that word. I understand why other people do. It's impossible for me to do it because I know the history. And I know that for so many of my relatives whom I don't know, who I don't know by name, people who I am connected to, my ancestors, that was the last word they heard. They were being strung up by a tree. That was the last sense of degradation that they experienced, as some harm was caused to them. It's just not a part of the fabric of who I am. So out of respect to those who've come before and the price that they paid to rid themselves of being relegated to that word, I just don't use it.
I understand Lee Daniels said that he used to use the word, and you two had a discussion.
Yes, said, Lee, you're not going to be using that word around me.
That's what she said to him?
Lee, no, you're not going to be using that word around me. And I think it's used appropriately in the film. I mean, I think, in the moment where the Clarence Williams character slaps the young butler and says, don't ever use that word because that word is filled with hate. And my character, this is really how I personally feel. When my character's sitting on the sofa with that cad, Terrence Howard, and says, don't you call my son a nigga, because he ain't a nigga. That's exactly how I feel about it. Don't you use that word, because that's not who I am.
Do you see a difference in people who use the word with an A at the end of it, as opposed to an R?
Oh, no. You're talking semantics. No. Out of respect to who I am and where I've come from, I don't use it. Jay-Z and many others and I have agreed to disagree about it.
Yeah, when you hear it in songs and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'm not listening to those songs. You don't think I'm going around listening to the songs where it's being played all the time. I'm not. I just personally am not.
Very few other cultures have taken like this negative word and started to use it in the vernacular as a term of endearment. I challenge for us to see that occurring in other cultures, and I think we need to, to make ourselves strong and whole.
I can't imagine. I don't know what the slang or the word was used by the Nazis towards the Jews. I don't know what that word would have been, but I can't imagine the Jewish culture now taking whatever that word is and dancing to it and making music about it. It feels like it would be dishonorable to the people who made everything that you have possible.
And to you, it's the same thing.
Yeah, and to me, it's the same thing. But I've been.
I would never. Obviously, I mean, I'm the whitest guy on the planet. I would never in a million years.
No, he couldn't use it.
Right. But no, I
would. You have no street cred whatsoever for using the word.
I like to keep it real on my own street, but but it's. To me, it's the equivalent of. I'm obviously gay. It's the equivalent of someone saying fag. That's not a word
that
I would ever use. In colloquial, even among other gay people. I mean, the film, it really traces the movement for equality, the movement of civil rights over generations, really. Where do you see that?
8 presidents.
Where do you see that movement now? I mean, there are some. I talked to Julian Bond the other day, who sees the fight for gay and lesbian equality, for same-sex marriage, as a part of the continuum of that. Do you think it is?
We have to look at any infringement, of whether it be religious issues, whether it be cultural, profiling or anything of that nature. We have to fight against it so that we can become whole, so that we can release all our fears, so that we can become what we were suspected to be or hoped to be from God. This is our thing. Eliminate fear, eliminate fear.
This discussion about racism will be over when we do exactly what Forrest just said, when we eliminate the fear within ourselves and also about each other. All the years of the Oprah show, one of the things that I understood very clearly, Anderson, was that when I would get criticism from the black community about, you need to be doing more shows about race, and you need to be talking more about what black men do, I always knew that you did more to break down the barriers of racism if you were doing a show on parenting and you had a black father on and you had videotape of him putting his child to bed and reading to his child. I knew that you did more to help the gay movement by having gay parents on with their children who were just like all the other parents than doing a show about what it's like to be a gay parent. Because what people need to see, which is exactly what we do in this film, is that we really are more alike than we are different.